Okay, I just had the chance to finally watch the Mayweather versus Maidana fight, and this was definitely a close fight. I had Mayweather barely winning this fight, maybe by one round, and it's just that Mayweather got off to a very, very slow start. He was very defensive in the early rounds, wasn't throwing many punches. He was mainly just trying to throw counter shots and was just trying his best not to get hit by Maidana. In the later half of the fight, he started putting combinations together, which was a nice thing to see because it's not very often you see Mayweather throw combinations. And I think what it was is that Mayweather was getting so frustrated with the low blows and the headbutt and all that dirty fighting that Maidana was doing that it made Floyd angry. So he started, you know, you could tell he was definitely throwing his punches with bad intentions. He was trying to knock out Maidana. He was definitely fighting more aggressive in the later rounds, but in the early rounds, Mayweather wasn't doing much of anything. He was just being defensive, trying to weather that early storm of Maidana. And then there was a lot of these rounds that were close that could have went either way. Because there were some rounds where I wasn't really sure who won the round. But overall, I think Floyd might have just edged this fight out by 1 point, one round. But it was definitely a close and competitive fight. So I could see why some people would say it was a draw. But yeah, Maidana, he didn't win this fight. Kind of let it slip. He was getting caught with some good clean punches in the later rounds, and you could tell he did get kind of tired after the first 6 rounds. So it was it was good to see Mayweather in a competitive fight. Now, whether he did that on purpose, which I seriously doubt he did, because why make a fight harder than it has to be? That doesn't make any sense. I think Mayweather just didn't want to admit that Maidana gave him a tough time. Maidana was landing a lot of good body shots, and he was catching Floyd with that overhand right. But other than that, he wasn't really landing a lot of head shots. But Maidana did land a lot of body shots, though. A lot of those shots looked like they hurt. As for Mayweather, he was landing a lot of good clean shots, especially when he was in the middle of the ring. But when he get on the ropes, he was vulnerable. So, but when Mayweather was in the middle of the ring, he was able to use his superior speed to catch Maidana with the cleaner shots. Floyd definitely was landing more of the cleaner shots to the head, whereas Maidana was landing a lot of shots to the body. And but what can I say? Maidana did a good job. He landed more punches. He landed the most punches against Mayweather than any other Mayweather opponent. So he was able to do something that nobody else has been able to do, except for maybe Castillo in the first fight. But to land over 200 punches against Mayweather, that's a big accomplishment. Because most fighters have a hard enough time just trying to land 100 punches. But like I said, this was not no easy fight for Mayweather. He just got by, in my opinion. So, like I said, I could see why some people might have thought this fight was a draw. But it was a good, entertaining fight, and I really don't want to see a rematch. I'd rather see Mayweather fight um, either Pacquiao or one of the young, up-and-coming welterweights like Shawn Porter or Keith Thurman. Because I don't think Mayweather's going to be fighting too much longer, so I want to see him, against Pacquiao and against some of these younger up-and-coming fighters before he retires. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about that.